right, so let's kind of get into it. So I personally am extremely excited. I'm always a fan. Oh, a little bit too high with that Dragon Rush, and Tom is gonna come right back through right there.
His
Yep.
I like his reactions to Dragon Rush are on point.
They're definitely
That's
phenomenal. That's like the one thing about Tom, like watching
and
his
look at that hit
gameplay.
confirmed. There's the Raccoon Beam.
Yeah, where he dashes back right there and makes it so he doesn't have to commit a meter to put him in the corner. That was incredibly smart. Nice daggers right here. He's testing. Oh, a little bit off on the timing.
I'm having PTSD a little bit.
I mean, you play my Ginyu a lot, so
Yeah,
you're
I
used
just
to a
see
lot
that-
of Ginyu stuff.
I just see this, and I'm just like, I hate myself. I hate myself. I hate myself. I see Raccoon Beam. I hate myself. But I
Yeah,
still
so
look bad.
one thing is look for Tom to switch now. One of the things Tom mentioned to me, I wasn't making the adjustment to it, is he tries to find any opportunity to switch out when he can if he has blue life.
Right. Which
All right.
could be a detriment.
I mean, the other
And there it
thing is that we didn't stop at the beginning of this match to talk about, which I think is very worth talking about here, is AsianTom's team. We've got
It is,
Nappa, Ginyu, Base Jita. I would challenge you to find another person who plays this team. Like, this is incredibly unique.
I'll say one thing to begin with. He had specifically called out the character selection earlier to me today as something to talk about because he himself is curious, and there's conversation going on in the chat right now about whether he would be better suited playing more meta picks. But I will say Tom is nothing if not optimal because even his character select screen, he's got that stuff ready for the speed run. All characters immediately next to each other.
He
highlights Ginyu and hits A 3 times.
Oh, that's actually amazing.
That's actually, and then like he doesn't even change his colors too.
So,
that's like the cool part.
What I would say, I mean, and there has been some discussion in the chat, talk of, potentially dropping Ginyu, which, I mean, I can understand in this meta. GT Goku is one of the hardest counters to Ginyu in the game,
Right.
both as an assist and as a character, which is really, really difficult because Ginyu very much relies, especially if you're going to, if you kind of back up in neutral, you want space. You want that sort of dead zone where you can afford to safely call. You don't have that luxury against GT. He's very good at making you block.
Yeah. Also, a fun fact about AsianTom. You want to hear a fun fact? We asked everybody who's a dream character you want. He said Raditz, so my team can 100% be from Saiyan Saga.
Oh my god, give this man Raditz.
I mean, AsianTom is old school. He is probably the person, at least on the mass side, whose FGC roots go the farthest back, if I had to guess. When I got into the scene, he's the first person in the scene I ever met when I first started playing fighting games.
And you started in...
I started with Marvel 3 back in 2011.
Okay.
Marvel, baby.
And
you've been in this for a minute then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in and out for a hot minute, but we had a basement tournament at a buddy's house, and him and Chris Pereira, who doesn't really come out much anymore, came and graced us and told us about the Super Bowl events he ran way back in the day.
Yeah.
So he goes back.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those players, like, and he's also one of another player's training partners in the Summit Lucky D. So another OG helping another OG in this kind of game. Nice confirm off Rocky Kick. I think one thing too is like you're kind of seeing Base Jita in this game right now. We had Sweet JP on a couple episodes ago, and like he kind of talked about Base Jita and where he kind of lands in this meta. You kind of see it with AsianTom's team, right? Like especially with
the pause.
Show.
Woof.
What?
Oh, that's probably Andre being
Andre.
disrespectful.
Wow.
Wait. Where is that?
AsianTom has confirmed Andre paused.
Okay. Wow. Was that? Now, AsianTom, I hate to ask players to weigh in on their opponent's feelings, but was it a salty pause? He said, "Prove it was me." Oh my god, I don't know this man, but he is instantly gets a bad.
Andre
mark
is a
in my
salty
book.
boy.
Oh my goodness, I was gonna say he'd be bad for my blood sugar.
Andre is definitely
Sodium.
one of the he is a Urian player in Street Fighter 5, so take that as you will.
That tells me everything I need to know. I
like that. To get back into that, I like him crossing under the Raccoon Beam there to keep corner.
Yeah, he's done it twice now, and it's hit Andre both times because Andre's just not keeping track of the Raccoon Beam. Like he's like, because one of the things that Tom does really, really well, he calls Ginyu Force members and he starts moving immediately. because your
Yeah.
opponent is going to start tracking Ginyu, and they're going to forget, especially if once a Raccoon moves off screen, they're going to forget he's even there.
Yeah, I mean, another thing he'll go to a lot is he'll get a knockdown up at, super jump height post smash, and if he has Birder locked, sometimes instead of he'll call it up there, and then when it whiffs up top, it comes from off screen behind the corner, and you sit there and you feel like, oh, I woke up buttons, I'm gonna blow him up for whiffing the Ginyu Force, and then Birder comes out and just whacks you. He gets the hit confirm.
Yeah, no, I mean,
He goes to that setup a lot.
no, and it's a really, really good setup because there's actually levels to that setup. So that's like the level 1. The level 1 is you call the grounded birder in the air. He flies off screen. He comes from the outside and hits you because you hit a button. Level 2 though is when birder comes, he'll actually pull you out of the corner if you're blocking. And as Ginyu, you can then jump, steal the corner, and cross up with an overhead. And level 3, after you've hit him with that, once they see Birder start coming on screen, you DR them right before Birder touches them. Because they're going to start holding back to block.
It sounds like we're talking about what we talked about with Dayman, which is set play.
They're like, and that's what Ginyu is. Ginyu is a character of levels. And honestly, the way he's playing this character is very, very clean. Really nice. His opponent did not respect the Birder call. That is actually real.
I think the one thing about Tom and like this matchup in particular, because I talked to shout out to Hypnotic and Pupper J, because we actually we sat down and we were talking about the matches. Some
That
people
2H was absurd.
Yeah, that was really
some
good
people
patience.
were there. Yeah, so some people can't make it because we originally were supposed to have Kite versus Andre.
Yeah.
Originally, and Brad knows the lore on that very deeply.
Oh, the lore.
There is lore, but
It comes with lore?
Yeah, it comes with lore for free. So that's one thing that we were looking at all the matches and like what matches would we were trying to equal everybody up in kind of terms of play. And I kind of thought Dayman it would be kind of a challenge for him because no one in CT plays Ginyu.
Yeah.
And then also Nappa. And so it would be kind of a challenge. And likewise, no one in Mass, from my knowledge, plays the level of staggers and oppression as Dayman. So it kind of be irresistible force meets immovable object almost.
It's really, really interesting. I mean, matchup unfamiliarity, as I always say, is the great equalizer, right? Where if you don't understand how a character like Nappa or a character like Ginyu works, you can just lose, right? And you could be a stronger player than your opponent, whatever. You can just straight lose. And it's one of those things, but yeah, I mean, Tom, really, really good showing. By the way, the cutouts right now, I don't think that's me. I believe
that's an artifact of the video.
Yeah, that is unfortunately I have no control over that for those of you who are watching at home.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Tom, from the little I've watched him and
how the stare down. No, I wanted to see the stare down. Oh my god.
There's another stare down.
This is all we need to do is to put some
that's gonna be a Oh no, he obviously drops the guard cancel punish.
Okay.
This is killing me here.
So
all the points for
where we're gonna pause.
We're gonna pause it here at the end of this game. So it's actually really funny because I feel like if you just put some Eurobeat, you could have you can put some fight scene music to that. It's bum, right? And you got it's cutting in and out, and all you see is Nappa and Ginyu just wailing on him.
Yo, someone make a compilation of Andre.
Oh my god, that would be beautiful.
Please.
But so one thing, and Tom alludes to this in the chat, is he's up 2-0 right now, but he does lose this set. There's an adjustment that gets made here from Andre. He does some sort of an adjustment that is able to turn this set around for him.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to spend quite as much time to go into the rest of this set, but I will say from the games we have seen, now I can't necessarily speak to the Nappa or base Vegeta play. I don't know those characters quite as intimately, but I will say as a Ginyu main, I was very, very impressed with what I saw. The hit confirms were incredibly solid, which Ginyu is probably one of the characters you need to know how to hit confirm with the most. Because you get so many wonky hits off just random things. But he moved incredibly well. His setups were really good. And he very much understood the capabilities of his character and played them to the fullest. So I was very impressed with the play from AsianTom here.
No, I agree with that. For the little I've seen him, and it's gonna be kind of I'm it's gonna be really interesting to see how. I actually told Tom this like off rip, like for casuals, he's the #1 player from Mass I want to play because I want to see if the weird team and like how he plays Ginyu.
I can already tell
how
you, his
can
Ginyu, he plays slightly different than me. Like,
exactly.
it's
Like,
interesting.
it's like the way it's like the way like he plays certain characters, and it kind of goes back to what I talked before. Like the different styles. Like I want to see what makes him different from you. So it'll
yeah.
be really interesting to see. What do you have to what's last words on this matchup?
I was gonna
Who do
say,
you guys
Brad,
have?
why don't you close this one out for us?
Yeah, who do you have taking it?
So watching Dayman's performance there is pretty inspiring. Obviously, I'm the Mass commentator, so there's an implicit bias, both because I know my players better, and
Right.
also screw CT. Mass is gonna take it. Don't at me.
Ooh.
But watching Dayman's play there was really interesting, and I think what Jay and you had both said earlier with respect to Dayman is interesting. His stagger pressure is really good, and he plays with that intensity. The thing is, Tom, with the Ginyu play, it's going to be a lot of if he's able to get his pressure started and get his stuff set up. I think round starts are going to be particularly interesting. Blue Goku's round start, with beam behind it, he could, if he wants to stay at 60 miles per hour from the get-go, he can open with elbow into assist and make Tom block right off the rip, and then Tom's on the defense from 300 seconds. And I'm going to be really curious to see how these players set the tempo when the set starts.
They're both gonna block round start. Yeah.
They're just gonna hold back.
Shoulder.
Like I don't want to do anything.
That or shoulder bash. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
that's when we
be
hear
sick.
they do that, and somebody pulls out like a jukebox and starts playing that Wild West stare down music, and we're just like, okay, who's gonna?
Oh my goodness. I could get behind it. Go ahead. What's up, Flo?
As a neutral party in this, who do you have taken this set when they played in the first of 3 exhibition?
Who
is your pick?
If I had to pick, I mean, I want to pick AsianTom because he plays Ginyu. And to be honest,
that's a good reason.
And to be honest, I think a lot of it has to do with I don't think Dayman's style lines up well against Ginyu as a character. Like,
very true.
Not even like it's weird, right? So Dayman's style is exactly how you have to counter Ginyu. But the problem is Dayman's tendency to challenge in a lot of situations gets you killed against Ginyu.
Very true.
Ginyu eats players like that up. But if Dayman applies his pressure consistently for all the entire set, and manages to just lock him down, I think he'll be fine. But even then, Nappa's in a similar vein to Ginyu as like sort of a trap character. Where if he sets up,
we didn't get to see much of it.
No, we didn't. But if he starts setting up Cybermen, and I'm sure with the way he plays his Ginyu, I'm going to assume maybe this is maybe a little bit too much, but I'm going to assume he plays this Nappa at a very similar level. If he sets up a Cyberman, I think Dayman, you're going to watch him. I would keep an eye on the counter hit text on screen. That's what I would be looking for in this match. And I think
I got 20 harsh L's that tell you that his Nappa is that good.
Yeah, if that pops up. If you see counter hit on screen a lot, this is easy AsianTom. If you don't see counter hit pop up, Dayman will take it.